Hello geometry students. Today's learning target is to identify why triangles are congruent. So in class we talked about there are 5 ways to justify congruent triangles. The first one side, side, side that I wrote at the top. Second one side, angle, side. Third one angle, side, angle. Fourth one angle, angle, side. And the fifth one hypotenuse, leg. We also talked about ways that did not work, and as we go through this worksheet, I will discuss those. So if you look at problem number 1, we have an angle, a side, and an angle in the triangle on the left. And in the right triangle, we have an angle, a side, and an angle. So these two triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. In problem number 2, we have a side, an angle, and a side in the triangle on the left. And on the right, we have a side, an angle, and a side. So problem 2, these triangles are congruent by side, angle, side. When you take a look at problem number 3, we have side, side, side in the left triangle, side, side, side in the right triangle. So for problem 3, they are congruent by side, side, side. Likewise, in problem number 4, we have 3 sides in the triangle on the left, and we have 3 sides that are congruent on the triangle on the right. So, and just for clarity, the pink sides are equal, the green sides are equal, and the yellow sides are equal. So these triangles are congruent by side, side, side. Let's take a look at the next group of problems. So in problem number 5, we have 3 angles in the left triangle are congruent to 3 angles in the right triangle. But in class, we talked about angle, angle, angle is not a method, so these triangles are not congruent. In problem number 6, we have a right angle in both triangles. Across from the right angle, we talked about that's called the hypotenuse. And the other side we discussed was called the leg. And this is the 5th way we talked about. So these are congruent by hypotenuse, leg. In problem number 7, we have 1 angle is congruent and 1 side is congruent. That is not enough information to say that these triangles are congruent, meaning side angle does not work. So these are not congruent. In problem number 8, we have an angle in each triangle. We have a second angle in each triangle. And then we have the side. So this is an example of angle, angle, side. So these are congruent by angle, angle, side. If you take a look at problem number 9, we have 1 pair of sides equal, a second pair of sides equal, but we need all 3 pairs to be equal and for side, 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 so these are not congruent. Taking a look at problem number 10, we have a side, an angle, and a side in the triangle on the left. And then in the triangle on the right, we have the 2 tick marks, the angle, and the side. So this is an example of side, angle, side. So these are congruent by side, angle, side. And if we take a look at the last 2 examples, in example 11, we have 3 angles that are equal in the 2 triangles. But that is not a method to justify congruent triangles, so these are not congruent. And then in the last example in this, we have an angle, a side, and a side. In the other triangle, we have an angle, a side, and a side. And in class, we talked about side-side angle is not one of the methods that work. So these two triangles are not congruent.